Alright, so my name's Shumway, and I collect board games. I have been for a year. So I'm going to try and condense all the knowledge that I've picked up over the last year so you guys can get the most out of your extremely limited free time. By the way, the point of this is to get the most out of the time you're spending with people and avoid awkward conversations when you're meeting new people. So what I don't mean are these games. When I say I like board games, people are like, oh, you like Monopoly? You still play that? No, I don't still play Monopoly. I don't still play Life. These games, you just roll dice and a move. No interaction, no thinking, no discussion with your friends. I don't mean this by board games. I also don't mean games like Risk. If you have like 5 hours to devote to trying to hate your friends as much as possible, play Risk. You can also play Sorry. People get upset for Sorry too, because it's built into the game. You're just getting a character. But again, don't want to do that. So a little bit of background. This stack of board games is in my living room. I own all these except for Settlers of Catan. That's my roommates. I also have two in my room in this red box. Those are my favorite games, and then I have Cards Against Humanity up on that shelf up there where no one can see it, so I don't have to like know that I own it. Cards Against Humanity, right? You like see a couple pictures on Reddit with like the like white and black cards that are super clever. You're like, oh, I could get into this, and then you read about like the team behind it. It's like, man, these guys are kind of dicks. I could totally play this game. And you play it, and it's fine, and you keep playing it, and you know all the cards, and it's boring and offensive. Don't get Cards Against Humanity. So if you have this problem, where you have all these overlapping friends groups, but like nobody really knows each other, and you want to get them all together, the game I'm going to tell you guys about is a great way to do that. I totally have this problem. You guys probably have this problem, especially when you're trying to convince your like engineering people with your non-engineering people. Or maybe like me, you live in PCB. It's pretty desolate, right? People don't go out of their way to talk to each other. It's really hard. And like you get all these people together, and they don't have a lot in common. So like, how do you get these people to interact? This game, no, I'm not affiliated with the publishers. Some of you might know this. This is my favorite game and the first one I added to my collection. And it's set in like the distant future, and a dystopian government, total oppression, and you're like a member of the like resistance to overthrow that evil government. But there's a couple spies among you, so these are the two roles. And the entire game consists of just arguing with your friends and trying to like desperately get them to believe that you're a resistance, whether you really are or you're not, and you're just gonna like totally betray them at the end of the night. So 5 to 10 players, no player elimination. It's really simple to explain. I've explained this game like probably 50 or 70 times. It doesn't take very long. People understand it and they can like really get into the game, which is my favorite part. And so I really like game design. And it's kind of hard to define game design in a way that like a stoplight doesn't seem like a game. The important part is that games require player participation. You know, you can't like stoplights aren't optional. Getting invested in a board game is optional. So the reason I love the Resistance is because it begins with all the players close their eyes, and then somebody says, spies, open your eyes and look around. Spies close their eyes, and everyone's eyes should be closed. Everyone opens their eyes. And as soon as everyone's eyes open, everyone's in character, just immediately. And it's amazing to watch this happen. People who weren't talking a minute ago are totally into it. And there's this great theme of like this dystopian government. This is a picture of the NSA. People can really get behind this these days. Dystopian government. It adds a weight to the outcome. Like a stoplight, you die. But like a dystopian government thing, you can just play that game. It's fun. So another thing is playing this with all your super smart friends is a lot of fun because social deduction games, humans are great with social situations, but also these logical puzzles. Like, okay, so my two friends, they were on a mission and it failed, but this next one passed, and this guy vouched for this guy. Really cool stuff. Also, contrast this to the previous graph. This one gets more fun the more you play with a group of people, because you get better at telling when your friends are lying to you, you get better at lying to them. Seriously, this strategy is really nuanced. I played this game for the first time from 11 to 5 in the morning. And all these amazing moments like pop up that you're gonna remember with that group of friends for a really long time. Maybe you spent the whole 45-minute game leading up to this amazing betrayal at the end and everyone trusted you. Or maybe your friend took a chance and did trust you and so you ended up winning. I got 10 people who didn't really know each other that well together in the PCB study room, and literally that room was the loudest it has ever been. I almost had to leave because people were yelling at each other and just arguing so vigorously. It's awesome that people didn't know each other before they played. So if you want to get more into board games, there's this one called Pandemic, not the computer game. It's a cooperative game, so when your friends get all upset with each other, you can play the cooperative game. Fighting disease with Ebola happening, this is also ultra relevant. There's this other great game called Ladies and Gentlemen, and in this one, players pair up, and one of them is the husband, and one of them is the wives. Or is the wife and the husband. And the ladies just go shopping. They be the most elegant lady. And you can only communicate in character, which sounds super sexist, and that's entirely the point. It's critiquing Victorian era England values. So, Last thing, board games are kind of going through a golden age right now because American themes are crossing with German game design mechanics. There's a great talk on it. But most importantly, Resistance is super cheap on Amazon Prime. And everyone's distrusting each other. Thank you, guys.